If you're trying to find niches that aren't completely saturated, you're in the right place. While everyone else is fighting over the same crowded markets, there are still profitable opportunities hiding in plain sight. So today, I'm diving into Kajabi's article, The $1 Million Hobby When Entrepreneurs Go Deeper, Not Broader, to uncover niche ideas that could become real businesses instead of staying just hobbies. So if you want to follow along with the article, see if your hobby has $1 million potential, or grab a special offer for your business, you can click the link down below in the description of the pinned comment. And who knows, your weekend hobby might just be the reason you stop setting an alarm every Monday. All right, so first and foremost is going to be energy healing. I'm not going to read through all of this. They talk about examples where it actually works, but you'll talk about the audience here is super specific, like energy healing, cool. For horses, what? Okay. In this, the devoted overlap of people who own horses and believe in energy work. Tiny on paper, fiercely loyal in practice. So the lesson here is the narrower and stranger the intersection, the less competition you have and the more the right people will pay to find you. So next one, drawing animals with colored pencils. It's funny, I have a 2-year-old and I could probably do this myself. So one expert has done more than $1 million in sales teaching people how to draw animals with colored pencils. Colored pencils. The medium most of us last touched in grade school, aside from me, yesterday, I have to draw kites for my son. He loves doing that for some reason. He's like, draw another one, daddy, cut it out. I'm like, okay. The lesson, no medium is too humble to build a business around. Specific beats prestigious every time. Next, feng shui, okay? Talk about how they go with that, more than $1 million in sales, but for the modern home. So ancient ideas are wide open. People pay for someone who can translate them for the life they actually live now, okay? How to groom dogs. Then other one that looks very funny. So another expert has done more than $1 million in sales teaching other people how to groom dogs. A hands-on craft most people assume you can only learn in person. When you think about it that way, there's a lot of limiting beliefs when it comes to niches and products. Like for this, if a lot of people think you can only do it in person and then it starts showing up online as a solution, a lot of people are going to dive onto that because one, a lot of people are busy, they don't have the time, they wish they could get it done quickly and easily, and that solves a lot of the problems just simply being able to do it online. So the lesson here, you have to learn this in person, quote unquote, is an assumption, and assumptions are exactly where the open niches hide. So options trading taught in Yiddish, okay? From the basics to advanced strategies, more than $1 million in sales. He serves a community no one else teaches in its own language, which makes him the obvious choice for the people in it. So here we are with this one. Language and community are a moat. Serve a group no one else speaks to directly, and you stop competing, you become the only door in. Next, we have the olive oil sommelier. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too familiar with it, but I guess it's a real profession because one expert has done around $1 million in sales teaching other people how to become olive oil sommeliers. So if a profession exists, someone needs to teach it, and the more obscure it sounds, the more room you have to own it. It sounds obscure. It's even hard to say. So there's an example with that. This one is probably closest to home aside from the coloring one because I am a very big guitar player, and how to play guitar like Slash from Guns N' Roses himself, who wears the top hat, usually smoking a cigarette, playing epic solos, right? Sweet Child of Mine, November Rain. Sam Holland teaches rock guitarists how to play and sound like Slash and has done more than $50,000 in sales through his courses. The promise is precise. Learn to sound like the specific legend you grew up worshiping. So, the lesson. People pay for a result they can already hear in their head. Get that specific and the price takes care of itself. How cool is that? So you can learn how to play guitar like James Hetfield, right? All right, and I just scroll down a little bit more to make sure you can't see the other one. So hymn straight out of the hymnal pretty much teaches church pianists how to play hymns directly from the hymnal and has built a business of more than $11,000 in sales, serving them small, sure, real, completely. That's something to keep in mind too. There's going to be people who go through this and say like, oh, that $1 million one is great. Obviously, like $1 million is greater than 11,000. But you know what's greater than $0? 11,000. So a lot of people will see that and it would kind of be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not saying everyone has to go there and teach church pianists how to play hymns, but it is so weird and obscure. I'm sure they have no problem probably doing that in the first place, okay? Wilderness tracking and bird language. So Ralph overall just educates upon wilderness tracking, bird language, and so on and so forth. $100,000 in sales. And the lesson here is important. What it's basically saying is like this expertise that's been lived and used throughout many years holds a lot of value as everything generic gets commoditized. Mystery School Online teaches spiritual seekers a path that runs from simple, easy yes offers all the way to mystery school teachings and has done more than $1 million in sales. The lesson, depth of belonging beats breadth of appeal. The more an audience identifies with the work, the more durable the business. And I'm scrolling down a little bit more because this is going to be the last one, turning your handwriting into art. 2 experts teach a handwriting to art method and have done more than $1 million in sales, a craft most people would call a hobby and just stop there. They turned it into a teachable, repeatable method, which is the move that turns a skill into a business. The lesson here, a hobby becomes a business the moment you can package it into a method someone else can follow. And ideally, there's going to be a little bit more when it goes on to this, what the data says about too small to work. And this is the best part, I think, right here, if you actually want to go through and do this, how to tell if your hobby is hiding a business in 90 seconds. So if you scroll down a little bit more, could your hobby be a $1 million hobby? So you type in what you'd be doing, you start the assessment. It takes about 90 seconds or so, and you can actually see how that's going to work. Aside from that, the link will be down below if you want to take that, or if you're interested in starting your business, there is a limited and special offer on this page where you get 3 months of Kajabi for $99. Not too bad when it comes to getting up and running, creating your course, launching it, getting customers, getting paid, and everything else that comes along with launching an online business using any specific niche, even specific ones that we talked about in this video. Anyway, that's going to be it. I hope you got some value out of this. A little bit different of a video, but I came across this. It got sent to my inbox, and I thought I would share it with you because there's a lot of people who want to get started with a business or they see a hobby and they wonder if they can monetize it. It's probably not as weird and obscure as some of these, so maybe that will give you confidence in the process. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.